In Chapter 11, we encounter this very interesting and popular topic now, which is climate change. After studying this chapter, you will be able to describe greenhouse effects. I want everybody to describe what is greenhouse effect. And you have to recognize the recent global warming. I think the focus of this chapter or challenge is for you to understand human activities are the dominant factor in recent global warming. I think a lot of people argue about climate change because you don't believe it. So hopefully I can convince you. And after you understand that, the best thing for you to do is to understand how global warming can alter precipitation patterns, the frequency and the intensity of extreme weather, sea levels, and ocean acidity. So I want you to understand global warming first, and then you'll understand the crazy things happening in different places of the world. Of course, the last portion we are going to discuss as individuals, what should we do? And we can take a look how the governments and the business organizations, what they do to address climate change. The cost of climate change is huge. It's affecting the daily life of everybody. And we can see how much money we spend on repairing the damages resulting from the hurricanes. And 2020 is an extremely active year for hurricanes. And this Atlantic Ocean is busy brewing the hurricanes and the tropical storms one after another. It is very extremely active, and we run out of the names of hurricane. And we have to look at the Greek name system, which is a little bit boring, right? Hurricane Beta, Alpha, because we ran out the A to Z names. This is how terrible the climate change can get. And one example, just talking about Texas, we experience those dry spells, the droughts, which tremendously affect our agriculture and food security. And thinking about California, they are experiencing the same thing. I remember in the discussion board, I asked you about the wildfire, and probably not many people noticed I put a slide in the presentation about this ridiculously resilient ridge of high pressure system sitting along the coast of California, blocking the rain from the ocean for several years. Think about that. And it's clearly seen that from the scientific data for a long time, our Earth is warming up. This cannot be denied. And here I want to let you know there's a difference between weather and the global climate. The weather is a short-term phenomenon of temperature and precipitation change. And the global climate, that's a long-time pattern. We can study 5 years, 10 years, even 50 years or 100 years, or hundreds of years. We're talking about the long-term patterns. At first, we use thermometer to measure temperature, and then now the technologies have advanced to a very sophisticated stage, and we can send satellite to the space to collect the temperatures of the atmosphere, and we can have accurate data. We no longer can only measure the temperature over the land, in the air over the land. We can also measure the ocean temperature, like the surface water temperature and the air over the ocean. So basically, we can measure like temperature wherever it is with very high accuracy. We also use proxy data. So proxy data, that means we use other alternative methods to study the climate pattern in the past. And for example, here we can use the tree rings, and you will study the Anneberg assignment on the ice cores, right? The scientists dig out the ice cores all over the world, from the polar regions, from the mountain tops where the ice and the snow never completely melted. So you have a nice record of the human history, of the planet history, about the climate change in the past. So that's the first part of my lecture.